Hello students, hope you will be in good shape and size and must be taking enough measures against COVID-19. Last time we had the chapter Roadside Stand, the poem by Robert Frost, and followed by some questions, exam-oriented questions they were, along with the answers. Hope you might have done all of them. Today we are just kicking off a new chapter from Flamingo only, that is the interview by Christopher Sylvester. Before I take the initiative to begin the chapter, to start the chapter, I want you to take the textbook in hand, a copy in your hand, a pencil also, so that wherever you have some words to be taken down, some important phrases to be noted down, you can have it with utmost caution as well as engrossment. Please take the textbook, have a pen or pencil in your hand, so that you will be quite cozy and comfortable with your comprehension part. Let us start the interview. Before I start the explanation of the chapter, let us talk about the title itself. What does it signify? Interview, it is a commonplace thing there, usually taking place here and there whenever we are there in front of our television, and many times in the magazine also we witness this term interview. How we can define the word interview? Very easily. Please, you can have a note also of that, please. An interview is a structured conversation where a participant answers the questions put up by the other person. Generally, it incorporates two people, there. How we can easily understand or comprehend this term there? It is more or less one-on-one conversation. Generally takes place having a face-to-face there, but with the assurance of modern technology nowadays, through mobile also, through the term video conferencing, we can conduct an interview. But in olden days, it was a one-on-one conversation. Generally a celebrity becomes the interviewee, and the interviewer is a reporter or a correspondent or a paparazzi of a TV channel, or it may be a newspaper too, or a magazine too there. Here the interview by Christopher Sylvester throws lights on, please have a note. The chapter interview throws lights on the merits, demerits, pros, cons, advantages, disadvantages, characteristics of the term interview. The writer, Christopher Sylvester, himself was a great reporter for the famous American bestseller magazine named Private Eye. Almost 10 years he was a reporter in that famous magazine, which was considered the bestseller ever in US in terms of magazine field there. He was a reporter in Private Eye. Now we move forward. Let me repeat again. Interview means what? Signifies what? Interview is a structured conversation where a participant provides the answers to the questions asked by the other one. Generally, it takes two people in it. It is a face-to-face conversation there. A celebrity generally becomes the interviewee, and the interviewer generally is a reporter, paparazzi, correspondent, or a person from media. Huh? Let us start the chapter. Since its invention there, the discovery, the assurance, the commencement. Since it's obviously it refers to interview the term. Since its invention a little over 130 years ago. So if we talk about this chapter, interview was published in around 2000, suppose 2005, suppose there, and almost 130 years back. So we can easily assume it was there around 1870, 1880 when the first time the interview took place or came into action, came into existence there. 130 years ago, the interview has become a commonplace. Commonplace, a common thing. Commonplace, a common thing of journalism, paparazzi. Journalism, a field of reporter, newspaper correspondent. Okay, it's called journalism there. Okay, correspondence, we can have it. Today, almost everybody who is literate, educated, will have read an interview at some point in their lives there. Obviously, it was prized by me in the early part of my explanation in the start of the chapter. We almost, all of us might have once or more than once witnessed the term interview, either on the television or in the newspaper or the famous magazines around us there. And of our era, if we talk about Coffee with Karan, is a perfect example of the term interview. Everybody who is literate will have read an interview at some point of their lives. While from the other point of view, several thousand celebrities have been interviewed over the years, some of them repeatedly. And obviously, why a celebrity, an iconic figure of the society, becomes the interviewee? Because the people, the common masses, have the curiosity to know ins and out, to know each and everything about the celebrity's life there. An interview is the perfect medium to know, if not all, but some of the queries, some of the curiosity, some of the questions which the common people have about the famous celebrities there. An interview is the best mode of that. While from the other point of view, several thousand celebrities have been interviewed over the years, some of them repeatedly. Why some of the celebrities interviewed repeatedly there, recurrently there, many a time there? Because they are too popular actually, very much famous they are, and people are very much avid, very much keen, very much eager, enthusiastic there to know each and everything about the life of that iconic figure who is repeatedly interviewed. So it is hardly surprising that opinions of the interview, of its functions, merits vary considerably there. Vary, keep changing, vary, changes. Person to person, we generally use the term of there. So you considerably in a great number. Considerably, significantly there. So you see, over 130, 34, 35 years gone by, the term interview was discovered, and the people have their very varied opinion about the term interview. And the term interview has undergone vivid changes during the course of time. It's the meaning of last line. Some might make quite extravagant, elaborated. Extravagant, elaborated means more than needed there actually. Elaborated claims for it as being in its highest form a source of truth. Many of the time, though author doesn't believe in the previous statement, but many of the people around us, even the people of media generally, they believe that interview is the best source to know the truth about celebrities' life there. But author is not that much convinced though by this statement. Source of truth. Why interviews are known as the source of truth? Because the common people who have got no information whatsoever about the celebrity's life there, they have got something to look into. They have got some sort of information. They get a chance to look into, to peep into the life of those celebrities, or they are able to touch those, what you can say, the field, the area, the zones, the genre, which so far remained unobserved, unheard by the people. An interview provides them the best opportunity to know each and everything which so far they didn't hear, they didn't know about the life of the celebrities. In some interviews and the practice of that being an highest form, practice, truth, and in its practice an art. It is not so easy to take interview of a celebrity. You got to be very much observant, you got to be very much precise, you got to be very much witty, you must be very much knowledgeable person, okay, if you want to conduct an interview of some famous celebrities there. You need to be very much artistic skill, you need to conduct a successful interview. Their confidence is needed, a huge confidence is needed to become an interviewer. They are not so easy, let me tell you. Practicing out, others despise others, usually celebrities who see themselves as its victims might despise the interview as an unwarranted intrusion into their lives there. Interviewer may be enjoying its movement, or his or her movement, while taking interview of the famous celebrities, the iconic figure of the society. But what is the opinion of those celebrities about this term interview? Absolutely, they don't like it. They despise it. They loathe it. They hate it. They don't like it there. They get an extreme aversion towards the term interview. And what is their opinion? Check it out again. Usually the celebrities who see themselves as victims there. Celebrities consider themselves a victim whenever an interview comes. Okay, because you see, why they consider themselves? The celebrities consider themselves a victim because those fields, those areas, those informations which so far were unknown to these common people there suddenly comes into published into the newspaper, and privacy, let me use the same word, privacy of the big people, the big shots, the iconic figure somewhere around the corner is intruded there, and even the common people are able to intrude in the private life to know the secrets of these popular figure of the society. Therefore, the celebrities consider themselves a victim as far as interview is concerned. And furthermore, might despise, maybe disliking, celebrities may be disliking the interview as an unwarranted, unauthentic, illegal almost, intrusion and illegal entry in their life. Obviously illegal entry it is, because they don't want to reply those questions which are asked frequently by the interviewer. Therefore, they take it as an intrusion, trespassing in their private life. The term interview into their lives, their private life, we can have it, or feel that it somehow diminishes them, to make their image, to make their persona, to make their reputation defamed there, deteriorated there, decreases there. Therefore, they don't want to be the part of interview. They don't want to give interview. They don't like interview because they think that their reputation gets diminished by the media, by the medium of interview. That's why they dislike, they loathe, they hate, they despise, they have the aversion towards this term interview. Diminishes them, just as in some primitive culture, olden one, primitive one, ancient one cultures, it is believed that if one takes a photographic portrait of somebody, then one is killing that person's soul. Please note it down there. What is the opinion of the primitive culture about the term interview or a photograph there? It was believed then that when somebody captures a snapshot of a person through camera, it is not, that person is not capturing actually a pic of the person. He actually stealing actually the person's soul. It is the first definition of the olden time of the means, you see, when we talk about interview, taking pictures, okay, is the part of it there. So when somebody took a snapshot of a person in olden days, it was considered that he was not taking a snapshot or the capturing a pic. He was actually stealing the soul of the person who was being photographed, stealing the person's soul. V.S. Naipaul, a famous writer and Nobel laureate also, feels that some people are wounded by interview and lose a part of themselves. Underline V.S. You see the important parts of these particular chapters will be the opinion of the iconic writer about the term interview. V.S. Naipaul holds a great reputation in the field of writing. He was a great playwright there and won the Nobel Prize also, okay, for his writings there. What he thought? That a person who is being interviewed gets wounded, get tormented, get tortured, get injured while giving interview. It means V.S. Naipaul didn't like the term interview. Lewis Carroll, another great fellow, the creator of Alice in Wonderland, was said to have had a just horror of the interviewer, and he never permitted to be interviewed. Another fellow, another legendary writer, the creator of Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll, he didn't like to be interviewed. Or what he said, or what he opined about interview, that it was a horror. He tagged the interview with the word horror. It was a terror. Interview for Lewis Carroll was a terror, was a horror. And he never agreed, he never permitted any interviewer to take his interview. That was the second one. V.S. Naipaul said that it was a wounding thing, it was a tormented thing there, okay. And the second one, Lewis Carroll, he thought interview to be a horror or a terror. To be interviewed. It was his horror of being lionized which made him thus rebel. It was the horror of Lewis Carroll of being lionized. Lionized, flattered. Lionized, flattered. People, many times you might have seen that thing, that when somebody is taking someone's interview, generally they exaggerate some of the points, some of the things of their life there. And Lewis Carroll knew his own real caliber, ability. Okay, therefore he didn't allow any person, okay, to take his interview there. And why? Because he didn't like the flatter, sycophant people that will be publishing okay, more than what he said about him. Made him thus repel, eliminate. He never get attracted himself toward the term interview, always repelled, eliminated those people whosoever came to him, okay, for taking his interview. He didn't like it at all. He didn't like it at all there. Would-be acquaintances repel, would-be acquaintances, his familiar fellows, interviewers, he didn't like it, he eliminated them, and the persistent petitioners there. Persistent, adamant. Petitioner, one who makes request. Petitioners, one who makes request for his autograph, for his photograph, for his interview. He repelled all of them. 3 people were repelled, eliminated, discarded by the person, by Lewis Carroll, the persistent petitioner who wanted his photograph or wanted to take interview. Second one, interviewer. And the third one, his relative, his kith and kins there. He eliminated all of them who served him with that motto, with that object.